This is Spotlight TV, and I am your host, the loose cannon Christian Lestat. For the people at home, who are you here with today?
R. David Pratte.
Now, what are we doing here tonight at the Roadhouse Theater?
We're reading Charles Bukowski.
Now, what part of the play do you play?
It's not a play, it's readings of short stories.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it's not considered like a play, like just like a...
I don't think it's a play.
Really?
It's like, he was a writer, he wrote poetry and short stories and novels, and I personally am reading a short story along with 5 other people, and there's one person reading poetry.
Now, what's your story about?
My story is about a man who has a family, a daughter and a wife, and he has been browbeaten all of his life until he has no respect for himself hardly at all. He's afraid of society, he's afraid of existence, and the only thing he can find to do to support his wife and his family is rob liquor stores, but he loves his wife and his family. And his wife is kind of a thorn in his side, and he yells and screams at her out of defense, but he survives, maybe.
Do you identify yourself with that character? That you're reading?
I don't rob liquor stores, but yes, I do.
No, like you like, is there a little bit of you in that character?
Absolutely. I read, there was a period of time in my life where I read a lot of Charles Bukowski. I read all of his novels and a lot of his short stories, and this particular story over the years has stuck in my mind. And when Kim, the director of the production, asked me to be part of it, I said, I want to do a 45 to pay the rent.
Now, Kim Mick, the beautiful Kim Mick, how did you meet her, like in the real life, like originally?
Well, years and years ago, I knew a guy named John Biggie, and he pretty much brought me into this group, the Roadhouse Theater, which Kim and Scott are the head of.
Now, who wrote this what would you call it, a screenplay?
It's not a screenplay, it's literature.
Now, who wrote this literature?
Charles Bukowski.
Now, when was the first graphic novel or first book you ever read from him? Not graphic novel, excuse me, no, book. Like, what was the first piece of literature you ever wrote from him?
I can't tell you that. It's an excerpt from a book that he hadn't published yet. It was called Ham on Rye.
Yeah.
It's biographical of his early life. His relationship with his father, mostly.
Now, what other things do you do in the arts community?
Me?
Yeah, read books.
Oh, I'm a painter. I've had art shows at galleries. That's mostly, I used to publish and edit underground newspapers back in the 70s. Sunshine Aura.
So as an editor, like what things you wrote about?
Politics mostly, and alternative culture.
Have you ever written a screenplay yourself or written
Yes, I
any
did
books?
write a screenplay. It's called Tarzan Meets Flash Gordon. It's anti-technology. It's a tragedy.
Now, I see all the art openings and that. Like, what do you think of the Erie Arts, the Erie Arts movement? Do you think that like we have a lot more adjusting we need to do, or do you think that we are okay at the levels we are at now? You know, like we have enough
from
like,
whose
galleries.
From whose point of view?
Like, do we
have enough galleries?
Do we have enough galleries, enough theaters, and enough places just for art? Like, when I mean art, I don't mean like just paintings. I mean like acting on stage, or like you write a poem, or or you read a book, or do you think we have enough places like that to compete with the other cities?
I think, I hate to say, I don't know who you are. I mean, I know who you are. I don't know who you're representing, right? Okay. But I think Erie is a little backwards.
Yeah.
It's not, it's the establishment of Erie, it's not the artists of Erie. I think the artists of Erie are as hip and as aware of all the possibilities in the cosmos that there are. I think the establishment of Erie suppress the artists in Erie.
So, like, what do you think of the independent like movement, like the bands, like the movies that are being made, like everything that like lately everything in Erie's been independent, but like been so new. Like no one's ever been like in the 80s. There's not like been so many filmmakers in the 80s or 90s as we have now in Erie. There's not have been like as many galleries as we have now in Erie. Do you think that right now we're at a level that we've never been in?
I think we can grow.
You think we can get bigger?
I think we can, for ourselves, not for the rest of the world. I think we, as a group in Erie, as the people of Erie, need to learn more about art and consciousness.
Now, how do you think that the people at home can save the Roadhouse? Do you think that it can be saved? Do you think that...
I think it's worth saving.
Yeah, I definitely think it's worth saving too, but do you think that like the people can save it, like at this moment, as much in debt as the Roadhouse is?
I can't predict the future, but I certainly hope that it will be saved because it is definitely worth saving.
I know I basically grew up here, and like a lot of things that I do in promoting in my business, I've all learned from Kim, Mick, and Scott. They were my parents, and Roadhouse is like my house away from my house. And you know, like it's when I saw that it was closing, I nearly cried. And I can't even think of an existence without a place at the Roadhouse, because you know I've seen so many people that did not even think of ever going on stage, and Kim and Scott's like, hey, we got this play, you're perfect, and before you know it, 1 year later they've done like 20 plays. And you know, without the Roadhouse, you might not have that in Erie anymore, you know. And I've seen towns where they don't even have anything like the Roadhouse, and that's like Pittsburgh and bigger towns, you know, where people do theater, but they leave. There's no like actual there's no actual scene. There's no actual like family, you know. There's no actual like culture, you know. It's just there. You go, you see it, and you leave. And when I have that in the road, I have that in our town like Erie. I have the Roadhouse. It's very sad. I hope someone out there, I hope anyone out there who has any type of money or has any type of power will save this place. Don't you agree?
I absolutely agree. I think, you know, me as a painter and an artist in Erie, the artistic and cultural family in this town, for me, includes Scott and Kim. They are very important to me in this town.
Yes. And I hope everyone understands it. I hope everyone, when they see something going at the Roadhouse, go to it, sponsor it, because it's the last threads. And they were at the last threads before, so I can't even begin to say where the levels are at right now for the Roadhouse. So just please save the Roadhouse. Go to a show if you see it. If there's a show, go to it. I mean, no matter what it is, just support it, because without the Roadhouse, it's scary at the road. It's scary in here, you know, especially you won't have the younger people find themselves in art like I did, or like other artists did. So hey, I thank you for being here. I thank you a whole lot. Well, anyway, everyone, thank you for tuning in once again. You want to sign this off?
I peed.
Bye.
I have to pee.
See y'all later. Peace out in the bathroom at the Roadhouse Theater. Support the theater. Support Erie.
Kick it live with the CLB. Hey yo, that be the DJ rolling with me.